Whenever you're ready, Chris.
Didn't. Take 3.
What's up, Nomadiacs? We got a big show for you here tonight. Welcome in, everybody. I apologize, my mic was muted. Welcome in, everyone, man. Glad you guys chose this show, man. You could have been anywhere tonight, but you chose to be here with us, and we thank you and welcome you into the show, man. Hey, listen, training camp is starting to reveal some things about the team that we have, the new acquisitions that we have, the new draftees that we have. And, I've been fishing around, talking to different people about this and that. So have the producers. And I just I wanted to make sure you guys you've been listening to us for a few weeks. I wanted to make sure you guys got enough of a bird's eye view from people who are actually at the camp. We've been getting secondhand notes. I've made no secret about that. I'm proud of my notes, but I only report to you guys when I'm confident about something. And so when I say things, I'm confident about this, that, or the third. However, we do have a friendly rascal of the show from CHGO. My man, Mark Carmen, decided to do this today, man. Mark, Carmen, I appreciate you for being here, man. I really do.
I appreciate you guys for having me. I love the energy that you're bringing. Good to see some familiar names in the chat. And let's get after it here. Bear down, baby.
That's right, man. Hey, Carm, man. Hey, listen, I've watched you from afar. Nothing weird now. I just want you to know that. I just watch people. And I could tell, man, you are genuinely a kind-hearted man. I could tell you the kind of guy that I could park up right next to at a bar and grill. As long as there's pizza, wings, and beer, we'd have a good time. I can tell that about you, man. And I love people like that myself. It just makes me feel good inside to be able to sit next to a person who loves just to be around people and have a good time watching a game or two. But the question I have for you, Colin.
Okay.
Why do you hate Chase Claypool, man?
It's just, Bears fans are funny. I got to tell you. First of all, I don't hate. Well, there's very few people in this world that I hate in the sports world. I got to go back to, Charles Martin, Bill Laimbeer, people of that ilk. Those are the people I hate. I got no hate for Chase Claypool. I've got skepticism for Chase Claypool. Look, I'm actually surprised that Bears fans aren't more riding down skeptical lane, if you will, with me, considering how much this fan base loves the quarterback. And the quarterback called out 10 for his attitude. And then, spoke about how he's come a long way. And this was an interesting week for Chase, getting into a scuffle with Tyreek Stevenson at practice. So all I'm saying is, at this point, my current Chase Claypool feelings are, dude's talented, Bears need him, big body receiver, catch 3, 4, 5 balls a week, give me a half a touchdown a week. That'd be a great season. It would help the Bears win football games. But he talks an awful lot for a guy that's got 14 catches in this uniform. That's all I'm saying. So I just, we need to see some production here. That's what's on deck for Chase right now.
Okay, my co-hosts are itching, I can tell, but I need you guys to just let me sit calm on the couch here in my office. I'm going to talk to him for a minute. I just need you guys to allow that for just a minute. Just give me a minute with Carm. I'll get him corrected.
No minute.
I'll get him corrected. I promise you.
Let's hear it.
All right, you go. All right, here it is, Carm.
Break
Now,
him down.
we're coming from. This is coming from a guy who knows the West Coast offense because I played against it in college, played with it on my team, and I know how complicated it is. I mean, just the verbiage. The fans of the show, they can pretty much quote me verbatim. It's very, very dubious, if you would say. It's a lot of information. And we're talking about just the verbiage of getting the calls, right? We're not talking about lining up, looking at your alignment, looking at whether or not you move on this play, whether or not you block, is the ball coming to you? I'm talking about just getting a play. It's a lot to take in, Carl. I mean, a lot. And we brought the guy in, halfway through the season, right? Mm-hmm. And so I knew right away, me, knowing what I know about the West Coast system, that it was going to take him some time, and whatever we got out of him would be a plus if they got anything out of him that year. And so to me, and I'll say this to you about, because I know you've been on the field and you've watched that guy up close. I know he's spicy. He's spicy. And he gets into it with guys and he chirps, and I think they you like an edge about a player that talks a little bit and brings something out of another guy. You like a little bit of that, not too much, to the point where it gets to where it's fisticuffs and things like that. But with that being said, Carm, I knew this guy was going to take time for us to see the version of Chase Claypool that they projected. And so I think we're early on the criticism with him. I'm not saying that we won't have room to criticize that guy, but I know for a fact that we're early.
Okay, so Nomad, let me ask you something. How long has DJ Moore been here? I know these two are not the same player, but how long has he been here?
Well, DJ Moore played in some semblance of that system when he was with Matt Rule.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But Nomad, he was here for 5 seconds, and instantly he had chemistry with Justin Fields, right? I mean, listen, I get it. I'm happy to give Chase the benefit of the doubt of it does take time to get acclimated. I get it. But I'm talking about the actions that go along with it, right?
Okay.
And let's talk about this. Who traded Chase Claypool?
The Steelers.
Right. Now, does that organization know what they're doing?
They do know what they're doing. However, I think that's when you know that I think he was young, immature. He admitted as much. Did he not?
But what? No, man. Why do you want to twist yourself in a pretzel 3 times over to make excuses or just to get the rainbow out for Chase? Listen, I'm telling you, the dude is super talented. The Bears need him. He provides something they don't have. I'm not saying that this is a talentless dude who has no chance of putting it together, because he absolutely does. But we got some growing up to do here, Nomad, and I like some spice too. The early spice with training camp with him and Tyreek, I kind of liked him saying, Rook, don't talk to the ref, this and that. But he continued on for the whole practice. I didn't like it.
I think we do have room to grow, Carm. I think sometimes we forget how young these guys are. I just know this, man. When youth, and I mean, he just needs to live life and grow and learn how to conduct himself amongst his teammates and the whole thing. But there's a certain part of his personality that you have to let shine, because you don't want to bottle that up.
I agree with you. And look, there's a lot of guys who play this game with a lot of spice and they've had successful careers. This is not, but I don't think we have TO part 2 here. I don't see that coming. However, look, Nomad, let's make a friendly wager right now.
Let's make one.
Are you going to sit here tonight on August the 10th, 2023, with all this Claypool optimism? Do you want to make a bet with me that he gets another contract with the Bears?
It's early. It's early to make a wager like that. I wonder how willing you will be mid-season.
You want to revisit it at mid-season?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nomad, we're doing the show tonight.
Absolutely.
We can do a mid-season show, but we can't. The people that are tuned in here, they want to know what you think tonight. If you had to make a bet right now with me that he gets another contract with the Chicago Bears, where are you putting your money?
About 60, 70%. I think you want to say, will he get the contract or Mooney? I think that's what you want to say. Am I right?
Well, okay, let's have that conversation. Darnell Mooney, what don't you like about Darnell Mooney?
That's nothing I don't like about Darnell.
Exactly right. He's a stud on the field. He's a stud off the field. He got hurt last year. He was over positioned as a number one receiver. We all know this, but you want Darnell Mooney on your football team. And if Darnell Mooney plays well this year, which hopefully he will, Darnell Mooney's going to get a contract with the Bears. Now, if he doesn't recover from the ankle injury and he can't perform, well, that's a whole other story. But I mean, look how many young guys on this team, Nomad, are just absolute studs, both on and off the field. How cool is Khalil Herbert?
I mean, I get where you're going, Carm. This is one thing I would ask you to consider.
Okay.
When they made the move for him,
mm-hmm.
I think they made the move in reference to what they saw in the upcoming draft. I didn't think they thought they saw a Chase Claypool type. I think they were looking at traits, his physical ability. He's unique. There's only one other guy in the league that you can really even compare to him, DK Metcalf. That's about the only other guy. They need it. If you look at the receiving core, Carm, I'm serious. If you look at the position and the body types that they have out there, you have a DJ Moore. Go ahead, Carm. Go.
I agree with you. I've said it 5 times now. That size is unique on this team. I mean, DK Metcalf's way too tall, but okay. I mean, come on now. But listen, he right, Nomad, they need him. He has the capability to do it. I hope, listen, I'm rooting for him to do it. I hope he does. I would love to sit here. I would love to come back on with you guys and say I was 1,000% wrong. But
let's believe you will.
Well, okay, great. I'm just, Bears fans, I love you to death. I'm speaking right to you. But there's a sensitivity, when you basically say what's going on right now. Everybody wants you to give everyone the benefit of the doubt till there's all the evidence is in. I don't know where you guys were at on Mitch Trubisky. How long did it take you to figure out that he was not going to be the dude?
The minute they drafted.
Not very long.
Not very long at all.
Okay. All right. We're on the same wavelength there. I fought that fight forever. Is he not? He isn't. He absolutely is not. We come on. Open your eyes. He does not.
So, it's Nomad. Is he a number in your mind? Is he a number 2 receiver? On the period.
He's asking you, Carm.
Oh, Carm. You asking? I thought he was asking. No,
I'm asking you.
You asking me? Is he a number 2?
In your mind, yes.
Well, he's definitely not a number 1. Can he be a 2? Sure, absolutely. I mean, ideally, to me, he's on a team that's winning a Super Bowl. He's a 3. He's a guy. He's a big-bodied dude that his production between the 20s is not over the top, but he's a dude that is an absolute security blanket in the end zone, and he shines super bright as far as putting points on the board. That's what I think he is.
Okay. And if all right, my turn. And as far as the wide receiver room goes, that has been looking in camp with EQ down and now Claypool down with the hamstring. Who has been, stepping up other than DJ Moore? We heard about Tyler Scott having a few drops, but a few big plays. Valus, showing out as a weapon. who's filling in as that big body guy that those two guys are down?
They don't have it. They which is why they absolutely need Claypool. He's got to stay healthy, and he has to stay engaged. I think he wants it. I think he's hungry. He certainly loves hearing himself talk. They need him to get healthy. It was a huge bummer yesterday when he's getting physical, he's playing hard, and then he pops his hamstring. I don't know how bad it was. He didn't leave the field. He hung around all day, but it was obvious that he was done. And then he didn't practice today. I'd be stunned if he was going to play on Saturday. I don't know if they've announced that yet. I assume they haven't, but because they don't have to. But they don't. They need him, which is why. Listen, I don't fault Poles for the trade either. He looked at the free agent market. He knew he wanted to help Justin Fields. Green Bay supposedly wanted him too. So he went out and got a guy that in a position that they absolutely needed, and he gave up a draft pick to do it. I don't fault Poles for the trade. Ryan Poles every trade that Ryan Poles makes is not going to work out perfect. But the philosophy they had here in bringing him in, I get it, and maybe it'll still work out. But I'm sorry, would you all agree that it should have been at least a little bit better last year? 14 catches.
I would say this, Carm, and I know we only have Carm for a few minutes, and also guys in the chat. For some reason, the YouTube comments aren't. Something technical is going on where the YouTube comments are not loading. I don't know a remedy for that right now, so just bear with us. Just kind of listen to the show. But Carm, I don't want to waste all of your time talking about Chase Claypool because we can go on all day. We can do that for 2 hours.
No, I listen. I appreciate the fact that you guys are in the corner and want to come out Claypool swinging. This is good. I got some more time. Keep going wherever you want to go.
Okay, I just wanted to get your general overall view. Now, if you, from a good distance, looked at this camp, and you had to give me 2 to 3 names that really you just couldn't stop watching. I don't care who it is.
Okay. Well, I like playmakers. So DJ Moore has been the biggest breath of calming fresh air ever. I know that I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody knows that, but I cannot emphasize, like, he made a catch yesterday on a ball that was significantly behind him, and Justin had a lot on it. It was a tough catch. I mean, most dudes are not making that play, and he just, hands go behind him, hauls it in, starts running with the football. I'm like, my God, like this, you just got to put it in the vicinity. PJ Walker had a really interesting press conference today. I'm a fan of that dude. I love that guy as a backup QB for the Bears. But he says you got to get close to him. So I mean, they just haven't had a dude like that. I am also extremely excited about Tyler Scott. I've tweeted about him 1,000 times. But this dude, it's not just the speed. He has unbelievable moves. I mean, he is dusting guys where they are 5 yards away from him. It is amazing. You don't see guys get open like this. So, and I asked him today about it, and he was like, "Well, I used to be a running back, so I learned stuff, doing that in high school, and my dad had me watch Gale Sayers tape." And I'm like, you're 20 years old. You're talking Gale Sayers, 1965. What are we doing here? I didn't see Gale Sayers, play. How? And I'm like, that's a little young for you to reference Gale. He's like, well, my dad had me watch tapes on him. So he is super mature, super talented. He has had a bunch of drops, but I'm just gonna say let's just hope that's training camp jitters, just getting his feet wet, moving a little too fast. Like, I think he's just gonna settle in. So I'm a big Jack Sanborn guy because I like dudes who don't care about their body whatsoever. Everybody loves to look at the speed. That dude is a player who runs as fast as he possibly can, is going to hit you as hard as he can, and that's why he was so productive last year. But Noah Sewell, in Sanborn's absence, has been impressive. He has come out smoking people. There is some serious no regard for his body also going on right there. So I've been impressed with him. I kind of joke on the show all the time that like we don't need to talk about him because of the Sand God. But the Sand God, Sand God's been banged up, and this guy's coming. So I still am gonna hold out hope that my guy gets healthy because I just I thought he was the most entertaining thing on the field last year for the outside of when Justin was going crazy. Let's not get too crazy on the Sand God, but it was a pleasant surprise last year.
Carm, before I turn it over to my guys, man, how are you feeling? I've been talking about Noah. You probably don't watch the show, but I would encourage you to do so. But Noah Sewell's been a guy I've been talking about for months, and this guy, I don't know if he takes Sanborn's job, but would the fan base be okay with it? Because I know a lot of people out here with Sanborn jerseys on, and people feel a certain kind of way about the guy. He's a native of the state and all that. But what if he outperforms him and takes the job, man? How you gonna feel about that? I know you got a jersey.
Yeah, well, I do, but let's be clear here. I mean, we're all Bears fans, right? And we want to see the Bears win. And if Noah Sewell's making plays out there, they're gonna fall in love with Noah Sewell. Bears fans want to see dudes who are out there performing, and if he's performing great, they'll forget about Jack Sanborn in 5 seconds if this guy's out there crushing. But it's also there's room around there right now. I mean, Tremaine's been out. We obviously that can't happen. We need him in the middle of that defense. And I like T.J. Edwards too. He's super impressive. Also, another undrafted Wisconsinite. But is he going to have the impact that he had being consistent in Philly? I think he will. But listen. TJ, there's a lot of people out there. Iron sharpens iron. Let's get some talent in here. This is what we've been void of, and so it's good to see there's actually some legit competition going on in that linebacker room.
Go ahead, guys.
Jadeveon Clowney, what do you think, Carl? Yay, nay, maybe?
Yeah, I don't see the Bears doing that. He doesn't feel like a hits principle type of guy that bring in that locker room right now. I was surprised that once they brought in Ngakoue, I was at least curious, would they add on another guy? And I was I was sitting there waiting for Justin Houston. Dude's still productive, knows the regime, solid vet in that locker room. Not going to be super expensive. You've got money to spend. It all added up to me, but they didn't do it. So, do they want to give snaps to someone? Do they think he's over the hill? I don't know, but I don't think you're going to see another add-on. I think the roster's, unless maybe a backup offensive lineman, but I don't see them doing a Jadeveon Clowney type move.
That you mentioned the offensive line, we see that Nate Davis hasn't really been a full participant in practice. Patrick is out with, unknown. Who other than, let's say, Jatiri Carter, I'm assuming, is filling in at right guard? Are Iselin or Kramer or anybody else showing promise out there as far as you can tell? Is getting a lot of reps?
Yeah, so that's for me is going to be what the preseason games are going to be about, like to see these guys get out there. But Alex Leatherwood's been getting a ton of snaps, but then he got dinged up. So I think they want to see whether that talent will translate if they move him inside. I think that's their number one pick if he can stay healthy. Doug Kramer at center is an interesting thing to watch too, because I keep on hearing that they like him. So if they continue to have problems at guard, could you potentially see Kramer slide in at center and then you move Whitehair again back out to guard? That's unlikely, but I wouldn't completely rule that out. So, but I think it's concerning because
have they played with that as a scheme, Carm?
No, they have not. So
no?
I'm just going into because now we're getting down the depth chart here. I mean, they weren't planning on Nate Davis being hurt. They weren't planning on. I mean, it certainly wasn't the plan for Nate Davis to be hurt, and I'm hoping that it sounds like he's going to be fine. But let's just call it what it is right now. So Nate Davis is out there. Tevin has played some, but not all. Leatherwood's got reps. He gets dinged up. Carter, and so now, like, where are we going here? There's a lot of bodies. I'll have a much better sense of where I think that this will go after watching Saturday against the Titans, because it's just, for me at least, it's hard to watch O-line play when for the most part they're not in pads. Like it's just not. Like Darnell Wright. To me, he looks like he's just holding back. Not he's afraid to hit guys because he doesn't want to hurt them because they're not. I don't know. It looks the O-line just looks awkward right now. These guys are in the backfield all the time, and I think it's partly because dudes are just not playing full speed.
So, Carm, I believe that's the major concern amongst the Bears fan base. I think that's pretty spot on. That we have some question marks at the O-line spot. Not so much the starters for me. It's about the depth behind it, the swing tackle. Maybe have they figured that out? Larry Borum, is he looking any better than he did last year? All those questions. But go ahead, Carm.
Yeah, I've never had a huge problem with Larry Borum, for the record. Like, maybe they'll go out and get somebody else to do that spot. Noah Fant, if he's still out there, I honestly don't know somebody of that ilk. But Larry Borum to me is still a young player who can at least at bare minimum be a guy on your bench that you can feel comfortable throwing in there. But maybe I give linemen a little bit too much benefit of the doubt. Like everybody turn off their computers right now. But I did not hate Sam Mustipher. I thought his second half of the season last year was pretty damn good. And he was a great guy in that locker room. So I'm not super down on Borum.
I got before you get out of here, I got to make sure I ask you these questions about the rookies we have in the interior defense, Pickens and Dexter. One of those guys have to be sticking out to you right now. Is it Dexter? Is it Pickens? Or which one is it?
Nomad, I got to be honest. I stare at both of them on the sidelines. They're both so huge just standing there. It's like, oh, my God, I love these guys in the uniform. But Dexter is ahead right now. He batted down one ball today. The way the guys talk about him consistently, big Dex, all of that. I am excited to see what he can do. And if you want to dream it big, Dexter's in there next to Jones. DeMarcus Walker gets healthy, and he's loud as hell, and he's making plays. 7 sacks, last year. And then Yannick comes in there and has an impact. That ain't bad. It's way better than it was, right?
Is he as advertised? Is Yannick as advertised up close? Do you see that twitch in him?
I haven't seen enough of it yet. No, man. I don't want to BS anybody. I've seen like a minor flash, but he hasn't been on the field a ton. So I haven't seen it yet. But that guy's been consistent his whole career. He wants to play 19 years. This is year 8. I think I buy that they are going to get production from him.
Okay, guys. You got any more questions for him?
For sure. What about that running back room? Have you seen anything there that caught your eye at all?
Well,
positive or negative?
To me, Herbert is a clear one. I don't think they're not going to play it that way, but like I just love what I've seen from Khalil. I will say this though. When you look at those guys up close, it stands out how tiny Khalil is compared to both Roschon and Foreman. He is, but I like the fact that, he's worked on his blocking. He spent time doing boxing to work on his hands. He is, his running style for me, just the patience that he has and the feel for the game is very unique. I mean, 5.7 yards per carry, tops in the NFL last year. I think we're kind of sleeping on the guy a little bit. But Foreman's physical. He does an outstanding in stretching. The guy does the best pigeon I've ever seen. So, and Roschon is, Roschon's got a little bit of a weird personality. It doesn't seem like he likes the media, at least. But he's had some violent plays out there too. But to me, Khalil is the one.
All right, and before you get out of here or get to the chat room from the Nomadiacs that are joining us on the YouTube Nomad Network, if you owned an NFL franchise, namely the Chicago Bears, and you had the opportunity to own 300 or 800 or 1,000 acres of your own land to develop as you please, as opposed to staying in a congested area where you get maybe 30 acres, what choice are you making?
Now, the Bears, let's not get this twisted. The Bears belong in Chicago. Nobody wants to go out to any sad-ass suburb to watch this Bears team play. So, in my mind, this is what I would do. The city, you're all broke, right? Listen, you sell the land on the lakefront to the Bears, all right? You get that dough. You tax them. You get a piece of whatever percentage on some ticket tax as well. And you let them build exactly what they want, where it is right now. That's what I would do. I do find it interesting. When I said this, everybody screamed at me, I'm completely nuts. And now, some momentum has stopped here, and now we're looking at alternate spots in Chicago. I'm interested in that too. I like them in the city. I like the Bear. I like everybody coming down to the city and watching the Bears play football there. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm going to stay until this thing is over.
Okay, Carm. You know what, man? I really do appreciate you coming on to the show, man. And I know a lot of the fans feel a certain kind of way about Chase Claypool, and they're gonna give you crap. They're giving you crap. I know you can't see it. They're giving you crap. But
I don't even know what I get in crap for. I hope he has a great season. Let's go, Claypool. I'm just calling out what it's been to this point. That's it.
You know what you're getting crap for, Carm? You're getting crap because you actually stick to your guns, buddy. You're sticking to your guns. You want the Bears in Chicago, and I can't blame you for that. I'd love to. I'm in Canada, brother. I'd love to come and see a game, and I'd love for it to be in the city of Chicago. Yeah. So I got to get there before they do the big switcheroo.
Right.
But, money talks, brother. You know what I mean? Like that's where it ends, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to come down from the great north and come here and have to take some train out to the suburbs or drive. You don't want that. That's not what you want to do. You want to walk right down Michigan Avenue and make your way over to Soldier Field and have a great day. And,
we all love Carr, man. We all love Carr, but I got to make sure you get to see this before you get out of here because our producer Chris whipped up something really good for the guys in the chat. And people are watching the show as a reminder. So take a load of this, guys.
Hey, you Nomadiacs, don't forget to follow all the Nomad Network content. Find us on Facebook.
Nomad Live. Nomad at Night.
And I am Alpha in the kitchen.
And to all the most popular podcast streaming platforms like Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Music. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Well, that's how we roll over here, Carm. I hope everybody enjoyed that in the chat, man. I thought it was pretty fun, man. What do you think about that?
You guys are creative. I love I love the vibe that you're bringing. So appreciate you guys having me. We'll do it again. All right.
No doubt, man. I'll be in touch, man. Somebody will be in touch, man. Just respond.
I will. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Carm. Appreciate it, brother.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I got to feed my heifer. I guess.
Hey, big respects to Mark Carman from CHGO for showing up, showing out, and giving us what for. That was awesome. As we move forward, we'll have more guests like that. Always talking Bears all the time. Nomad, what do you got to say? What do you want to do next?
Hey, man, I do appreciate Carm for coming over and just appreciate CHGO, man. We all have our feelings about certain things that happen over there, certain comments, certain narratives. I get it, man. I get it. And I'm just as hard on them as anybody else, man. But And this business in the line of work that we do here, man, it is entertainment. And we need to bring on people who will bring a different point of view. And Carm was good enough as a guy he knew what he was walking into. He knows how I feel about Chase Claypool and why the criticism was unwarranted. And he knew what was coming. And he stepped into the fire, man, and he accepted. So I take my hat off to Carm, man, for that. And Braggs too, man.
You know, the thing about, Carm that I do admire and respect is he stands behind his takes, no matter how extreme they may be. And, being a Chicago fan who, like Braggs, we as sports fans are watching them work their way up, through the industry, and, become part of podcasts or newscasts or YouTube cast, whatever they may be, and be production and being, active in the, camps and all of that fun stuff and making sure we got up to dates. And so respect to those guys because, they're meatheads, they're crazy, but we love them and they keep it real.
Amen.
Yeah, that's what I love about Braggs too. But that whole, I'm a business guy. I'm a businessman. At the end of the day, I look at the Arlington Heights situation and I think paper, and it's the one thing that the McCaskey family hasn't done, right? You look at a guy like Jerry Jones in Dallas, and his money didn't come from football. He loves football. He puts a whole bunch of his money into football, but that's not like where his paper's being generated. So they need to, they need to diversify and put their money in a couple of different places, like land, like development of land, like potentially a hotel and a casino and all that fun stuff, right? That's really what's going to bring that much more dough to the McCaskies of the future. But, everything's on pause right now. Where do you go from here? And this particular opportunity, if they can bring it all right back to the city of Chicago and still develop the land out there, it's still money.
I don't give a damn about where they play football. They can play in my backyard. I'll watch it.
Well, let me ask you a question, though, Nomad. I know that this is going to lead into one of your notes, but it kind of leads in organically right here. Not the land, but the logo that has a little change. You're a sock guy. You care about the wardrobe, the color, the coordination, because you have to coordinate. I get it. So what are your thoughts on the logo, the Bearhead logo?
All I know is this. We have some very archaic uniforms. There's a place for history. There's a place for tradition. It always will have its place. Let me tell you something, though. That shit's dead. Excuse my language on Nomad Live. I shouldn't have said that word, but that's dead. Those socks, man, those regular game day socks with the stripes on them, burn those MFers up. I'm sick of them, man. I got to start a campaign so get loud enough so Kevin Warren can hear me. I'm thinking about doing a little commercial with my man Chris. I ain't gonna tell you all the details about that, but lordy, we have got to get up to the 21st century, man. I mean, it is bad. It is bad, man. The uniforms in general aren't ugly. It's just the socks. It's the socks, man. The players are hiding them. If you watch the players up close, look at Mooney, look at Bojack. Those guys are hiding the stripes on their socks. They don't like them because it's old school and ugly, man. I'm sick of them. They need to get rid of them. If they want change, start with getting rid of the damn socks, man.
This guy been talking about them damn socks for weeks. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm just saying, he's been talking about hitting on them socks like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel.
Nomad don't like the socks, but I this is one of them times. Me and Nomad are in 100% alignment because I think personally they just need to do one fresh new uniform and potentially a fresh new logo and have that potentially replace the C and the OG logo. And that doesn't really mean anything. They can always throw back at any given time. The tradition isn't going anywhere. It'll always be here. I think we should do a little something new for the new guys in town.
Well, I do find it interesting that the college team, the Oregon Ducks, They got like 50 different uniforms and all kind of wild and out there colors. And, they're still the Ducks, So, like the logo that Kids is wearing now, for you audio listeners, either on uh, Spotify or iHeartRadio, it's the black hat with a white outline bear logo that we're talking about. That's an orange. So the more logos you have, the different color variations, the more money you can make. It's cool with me.
Don Burr says the bear logo should be a poodle. Like this.
Come on, Don. Get it.
They got that thing outside the Ford.
Get it.
That's outside the Ford dealership, man. But I'm serious, man, about those socks, man. I'm dead ass serious about those things, man. And the uniform. I mean, because if you want to being serious about it, though, seriously, if you plan to sell this organization to a new generation of people, you need to do some things different than you've been doing the last 120 years. And actually, the owner and the president could probably sit down in the room. We're going into the next plateau. The next plateau with this quarterback and this team, and it needs to reflect the new energy. You know what I mean? Bring some variations to the uniform. Just like Tripp said, man. There are NFL bylaws now. You can't just do anything you want to do any Sunday with any kind of variation to your uniform. But if the opportunity is there to present a new type of uniform for the Bears to look at and pontificate about, let them do it. Put something out there that's different than what we see every Sunday, man. I'm adamant about that. But start with them damn socks, man.
All it goes back to the damn socks. And again, I can't argue with them. Them socks is something special. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just wearing them socks out in the street on a regular day, everybody just picture that for a minute. Straight up, somebody would point and laugh and go, "What are those? What are those?" 100%. Definitely get a "What are those?"
Welcome to all the new guys in the chat. That I'm seeing a few new guys. Robert Petty, welcome, man. Thank you. Glad you came to the show, and we will not let you down. Chicago sports fan, first time seeing him. Thank you for coming to the show. Taurine, welcome back, brother. Haven't seen you in a while, but always love to see you. Iceberg Slim 38, man. New guy, man. I haven't seen you before, but I could be wrong. I'm concentrating.
Iceberg? Come on, that's Iceberg Slam.
What's happening, baby?
As opposed to Iceberg Fat.
Thank you for coming to the show. But I do want to take a swerve to the left a little bit, man, because my man Noah Sewell, man. Let me tell you something, guys. I've been talking about this guy ad nauseum. And I heard Coach Wani on 670 to score today. We didn't have time to get the cut up for it, but I would kind of relate to you guys what he was saying. He basically echoed what I've been telling you guys for weeks. For weeks and weeks, I've been telling you guys, watch that dude, get that damn jersey, because that dude ain't going nowhere. You're going to remember that number, 44, throughout the whole preseason. He's going to demand through his play that he deserves to be on that field. I'm telling you, we got a stud in Noah Sewell, and I won't back down from that. If I'm wrong, you can hold me accountable. I will stand and fall on the sword, man. But I'm telling you, we got a stud in this dude, man, and we're gonna be talking about this guy for a long time.
Shout out to the people out there in Hawaii dealing with the fires and such. And I'm not being racist, speaking about all Polynesians at one time. So settle down. I just thought about it when I started talking. But yes, Sewell is a beast out there. He's smart. Football wise, on and off the field, he's physical. He's got strength. He's got speed. He's got power. You can tell that he studies a lot of tape because he knows where to be and when to be there. I mean, it's like what Jack Sanborn was last year when we was UDFA, except Sewell is more athletic. He has all those intangibles. And so I'm looking forward to see where he plays because, you got Edwards and Edmonds in front of him. Is he going to make that starting Sam side and, push Sanborn to, first off the bench back up? Is he going to be a special teams beast? But a lot is going to, depend on health as well. So I'm looking forward to really Saturday of looking at, every goddamn position, like we all are. But what is Sewell going to be doing out there? He's going to be hitting opposing players now. Is he going to know where to be? Is he are rookies in general not going to, let's say, make all the plays, but just be in the right position to make a play?
Before you go, kids, let me say this to you guys, man. I apologize for this, but I gotta interject with this. Listen to Coach Wani, and I really respect Coach Wani. I really respect the way he describes the game and he breaks the game down for people. Even people who don't really understand football the way we understand football can understand him. And I appreciate that about him. And one of these days, I'm gonna land Coach Wani on the show and we're gonna talk. But the way he describes Noah Sewell in practice, because he was at practice today, and he was in the office talking with Coach Eberflus, man, and he had some interesting things to say. So if you haven't checked out that interview on 670 The Score, you should check that out, man. But the things that he was saying about Noah Sewell is exactly what I saw on film. The way they were using him in the blitz packages. Because he's one thing about Noah Sewell that's different than I'll compare him to Tremaine Edmonds, because he's a great blitzer. He's really good when they call blitzes and spying. When I say spying, just eyeballing the quarterback, mirroring the quarterback from the linebacker spot, making sure you're in the passing lanes. And when the quarterback approaches a threshold, getting towards the line of scrimmage, it triggers him to close on the quarterback and make the play. And so he's going to be patient back there when he's spying that quarterback. But when it's time, he sees that quarterback get to that landmark, he's going to dart and he's going to close that play. He did it better than any linebacker I've seen in the past 7 to 8 years. When he sees it, he closes on the play and it's over. So that's the part about Jack Sanborn has a lot of those different traits too. This guy's just a little bit quicker and more athletic than Sanborn. I love Sanborn. I don't want you guys to get that twisted, but that's the difference between him and Sanborn.
I just want that linebacker core to do some stuff. I'm happy. I believe they're deep, right? I believe we have similar questions about every position. It's almost Saturday, guys. We got a couple more days to go till we can really actually see some action. Holy smokes, it's almost football time.
Speaking of that, we will, you guys, we will have a pre-show Saturday. We will be doing Nomad Live Saturday before the game. I don't know exactly what time we'll do it, but we'll figure it out and we'll get that information out to you guys. And after the game, we'll do a post-game show. Likely will be Nomad at night. And so that you got that to look forward to, people. And for all those who enjoyed that ad that Chris whipped up for us, we will make sure we get that in before we get out of here. So I'm glad you guys liked it. We will play it again for you guys. But hey, overall, man, Javon Dexter and it's Noah Sewell and it's Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith right now. Those are the new guys that are poking out, and I'm so glad to hear it, fellas.
Oh, indeed. These are, young guys that were identified by this scouting staff because why? The power of polls compels you. And he's brought them on. So, as they develop and mold together and become, their finished products, because remember, they are rookies that are showing flashes and developmental traits, but they are no place close to being what they will be as they mature as players. So we are seeing the seeds, the little seedlings, the developmental stages of this. So as we saw Brisker and Gordon last year make those rookie mistakes, be out of place, go into the wrong hole, look lost out there. But now as they've acclimated more, as they are developing, you see the progress in this season. So as Sewell and Pickens and Dexter show as many flashes as they will this season, the future is only going to be better. And so I like where this core is going. And with the draft capital and the money that we have available, it's only going to get better, y'all. It's only going to get better.
Guys, I'm going to ask you for one favor. Please, all y'all fans out there, don't get down on these rookies. Don't get down on week one training camp battles. Nothing matters in this respect. Nothing matters. The only things that do matter is that come week 3, things look a little bit different than they did in week 1.
I'll just tell you.
That's it.
Here's one thing I want you to caution you guys. Tyreek Stevenson, he's going to go through some things. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's going to go through some things. Why? Because he's a rookie. If he lands the starting job as the opposite corner, they will attack him at every turn.
For sure, 100%.
And you know what's going to happen because of that? Because of his confidence and his ability to, and you see it in college if you watch enough tape, he's not worried about whether or not he lost on a rep. All it's going to do is make him get sharper, get more determined. He's got a confidence level doesn't get talked about nearly enough, man. The guys, and that's what you want in the corner, a guy that could take his L's and learn from them and come right back at you with the same kind of vigor. They're gonna attack him, they're gonna target him, but don't get down on him, because in the end, I can guarantee you, if he keeps the same mindset that he had going into this season, he's gonna ascend towards the middle and towards the end of the season. I guarantee you that he's going to take his L's. They may have to shade some coverage over top of him at time to make sure it doesn't get too bad, but don't get down on him. He is going to rebound from that, and he's going to end up being an elite corner. And I think Terrell Smith had the same kind of characteristics about him. I don't know as much about his attitude as I do about Tyreek Stevenson, but I hear that he has similar or pretty much the same type of characteristics. So I really look forward to it. Just remember, understand this. Things are going to happen to him. It's not always going to be good looking. Just know they're going to flush that stuff and put it right behind him and ascend from that. So just know that ahead of time. You guys got any last words before we wrap this up?
I'm just going to echo what you're saying there in that respect. Last year, we saw a lot of that against Kyler Gordon when he was playing both, inside and outside. They really attacked him knowing that Jalen is going to be on that number one receiver. Let's just test that side. And we saw a little bit of trouble initially from Kyler. He started to grow as a player as the season progressed. We may see similar things from Stevenson. Reality there is also, we might also see Stevenson thrive. So keep an open mind. We'll see how it goes. Saturday's coming.
Hey, before I do my closeout comment, Chris, go ahead and run that back one more game.
Wait, whoa.
I know.
Hold up. Just finish your thing.
Okay.
I got something.
Well, like Leo is saying, the preseason games don't matter. They actually do, for the lower depth chart guys, but our depth isn't that low. So the level of battle and concern for players, they're still fighting for a lot of open starting positions on this team. So, it's not just, well, we know who our starters are. We're going to sit them and not play them and just play our backups. It's like, well, who are the starters and who are the backups? We don't know that yet. So these preseason games matter a lot more than they have historically, because, last season was just bottom of the basement, like, but now that we have our developing gems in place, our seeds have been planted in all these different rooms, now it's going to come together, but we got to see it, and they got to see each other out there because they don't know each other, so these preseason games coming up, going to be interesting to see.
Amen, man. And before we get out of here, man, I just want to send a shout out to our guy Samo, who's not with us tonight, man. Word. He's probably still having to go through some things with his family, man. He can use the good vibes, and him and his family, he and his family can use some good vibes right now. I'm gonna send them to him right now, man. And hope everything gets a whole lot better. And you know what, man? I cannot say it enough. We love you guys for coming and enjoying the show. Hopefully we're doing our jobs and producing the content that you guys are looking for. And I want to send a shout out to Karn for being a special guest over here today. We do appreciate him coming. He could have been anywhere else today, but he chose to come over here and rock with us today, and we appreciate him so much for that. And so before we get out of here, we will leave you guys with this last ad one more time. If you really enjoyed it, before we get out, love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. Go ahead and rock us out, Chris.
Hey, you Nomaniacs, don't forget to follow all the Nomad Network content. Find us on Facebook.
Nomad Live. Nomad at Night.
And I am Alpha in the kitchen.
And all the most popular podcast streaming platforms like Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Music. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.